It's on. Yeah, put your headphones on. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
You got me? Speak
this
into
ear.
it.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right.
Look at that. We're rolling.
Hearing this ear though.
Yeah, I can only hear one ear too. What'd you say? He's gonna tell us when that camera. He's gonna tell us when that camera's on us. He's gonna hold it for one.
Okay.
Bobby.
See it.
Bobby. Remember to hold up the one. That camera's on.
I don't know.
Some important thing to note. Hesh has the start tonight.
Really?
We welcome you to tonight's broadcast of York Dukes basketball on YSN. Gavin Hughes alongside me, Dane Emmerich. The 21st team in the state, the York Dukes, facing off against the number 13 team in the state, the Benet Red Wings, as we get set to go. Dane, welcome in.
Great to be here.
And we can't wait to take you along. Tim Glavin at the center for the Dukes and the jump. And we are off. Starts back to Nate Shockey, who yesterday in the victory against the undefeated Hilltoppers of Glenbard West had 32 points. Dukes had a total of 50. To help you do the math, make it quick and easy. That is 64%. As Grace, good look inside to Hesh. Hesh, the second chance point, gets it to go. Dane, a little interesting there. We got Nick Hesh with the start tonight, the sophomore. The last sophomore to do that was Jeffrey Grace. As the Dukes get a turnover there, we'll get the ball right back. Dane, what did the Dukes have to do tonight to set the tempo and get this thing going?
You got to get the ball in the hands of Shockey, work the paint, get inside. You got Hesh. He could work on the perimeter and work inside. Just most importantly, like I said, get the ball to Shockey.
That ball sticks with the Dukes. Dane, you're right. That inside presence for the Dukes is going to be crucial in tonight's game. This Benet team here is a pretty tall one. Grace at the top now to Brandolino. Silent night tonight, so any points that York will score will not be cheered for until we get to the 10th point. As that one missed by Glavin. That was the theme of the night a week ago. Second chance points, couldn't do it. And Dane, what are your thoughts on the production of Tim Glavin taking over for a very important role in Sam Walsh from last year to this year?
Sam Walsh, he proved he was very good at inside, working the paint. He could work any defender, get those points when they needed it, especially last year against Whitney Young.
Jack Proc on the three for the Red Wings. Yeah, Dane, this Benet team we've heard about all week, about how strong their three-point presence is. And that's a testament to that right there as Jack Proc hits the three for the Red Wings and gives them their first lead of the contest. Meanwhile, cutting in, Shockey up, can't finish that one. Yeah, Dane, and when we were here last Friday against LT, I mean, the basket just seemed to have a lid on it. I mean, the Dukes really had trouble finishing down low.
Yeah. Fourth quarter for them worked out great. Seemed like they were hitting everything. They took advantage.
And they stepped up when they needed to.
Right, Nate Shockey with game tying, 9 seconds left.
Somebody tells me that this year for the Dukes, Nate Shockey is going to really implement that leadership role. And he's done so in these first couple games. Like I said, 32 points last night.
Crazy. Especially with the absence of Eric Cohn and Nick Kosic. He really had to step up this year, alongside with Jeffrey Grace, Jr.
Good steal there by Nick Hesh. Up to Shockey in transition. I'm now inside Glavin, backing his man in, up and out.
It's 2 now. Dukes could have had.
Dane, I think the lid might be back.
Oh. I think you might be right.
Good hands there by Glavin up to Brandolino. To Hesh, kick outside. Shockey for three. Got it to go.
Great
Nate
ball movement.
Shockey. And that will bring us to a timeout by the Red Wings.
Do what you do best. Great ball movement. Take advantage of the steal.
And that is 5-3 lead for the Dukes, about 5.5 to go here in the first quarter. And we talked about it last week, we hinted at the head coach of your Dukes, Vince Doran, said at this point last year there's a clear top 7 in terms of players. But this year is a different story, and we saw that last Friday as, I mean, just numerous names being brought into this ball game. And Dane, it's kind of fun as you sit back as a fan and you appreciate that, because last year it was almost like everything was set in stone. You know, the playoffs were expected. This is kind of fun because you kind of play a guessing game here as to where this team is. As we resume action now with Matt Reed and the Red Wings.
Never know what the Dukes can do.
Sam Hennessy. That's number 33, Josh Golden. And back to Benet. Great defense here from the Dukes, always covering blocks and elbows as that one bounces off the chest. Jack Prock, the only registered scorer of tonight's ball game for the Red Wings. Again, no noise from the Dukes side of this gymnasium until the 10th point. And Dane, the turnout in terms of the student section could have been a little bit better, but you factor finals into it. Stressful time. Is there no basket travel on Tim Glavin, but you factor in finals and you think, you know what, this crowd, this is manageable. We can do it.
Yeah.
We can do it. It'll work for tonight. York still using that ball press defense. Benet cutting, bounces off his body, looking, kick out from the outside. Hennessy for 3, got it, good. The Red Wings take back the lead, 6-5.
Although they scored there, York had some good defense.
Just got to shut down that inside perimeter.
Forcing the loose ball.
Denton Rohde in the ballgame now. Brandolino to Shockey. I believe that'll be an illegal screen. Number 33, Nick Hesh.
Rohde was an important role in last week's game against Lions, especially late in the game, fourth quarter, overtime, helping sealing the win.
Extremely important. I mean, you talk about 8 points, but such a valuable 8 points. Great steal here by Shockey. Back the other way. Goes up, and he's fouled.
Doing what he does best. Aggressiveness, drawing the foul.
That foul on number 5, Sam Hennessy. First foul on Benet. Shockey at the line, shooting 2. Gets the first. So 2 fouls on the Dukes. 1 on the Red Wings. And Dane, last week we talked about it. There were not too many fouls on either side of the ball.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you foul Nate Shockey, you pay the price. 2 free throws.
1 point lead for the Dukes.
You can expect him to make them. Damn good ball movement.
Up near the elbow. Golden to Reed. Reed back inside of Golden. Golden kicks out Benet. Good defense here from the Dukes. Blocks and elbows always covered in the ball press defense. Very rarely do the Dukes move away from that setup.
Defense.
Great hands by Jeffrey Grace as well.
The bench is getting really excited now. There it is.
Here comes Shockey. Back the other way. In transition, up and in. 9-6. The score.
1 more point, this crowd will go wild.
I'll tell you, Dane, it's a little weird. Proc on the outside. Misses that 3. Back the other way, Shockey. We'll get back to my thought in a moment, as we could have the 10th point, and guess what we do? There goes the crowd. Silent night, fully executed. Dukes lead by 5, 2.5 to go. But it was a little weird those first couple minutes. You know, calls going in favor of the Dukes, and it just being absolutely silent. As Venekrin gives out. That one by Golden, no good. Back the other way comes Shockey and the Dukes.
Crowd is a huge factor in these games. You know, they fuel the energy of the players, and especially with them being all quiet like that, it really seemed like York, like they wanted to score, get them pumped up.
Rhodey, good little move, short though. Yeah, Dane, like you said, Proc up and in. Dane, like you said, I mean, it's just a place, the Dick Campbell's a place where this crowd gets into it, and they get into it very quickly. So this whole Silent Night thing was killing them a little bit. Shockey in the corner.
Didn't last long.
11-8 the score, minute and a half to go. Good little cut there by Rhodey,
and
he gets the and one. Denton Rhodey.
Working the paint, getting those passes.
Speak louder. Just speak a little louder.
All right.
Minute 27 to go in the first quarter. Denton Rhodey at the line for the exclamation point on the three-point play. Both teams with 2 fouls. Rhodey short. Rebound goes to Benet. That one rebounded by Jack Proc. It's Matt Reed directing traffic out of the ball press defense.
I might try adding it at quarter.
That's Michael O'Connor with the ball number 12, his first action of the night. Luke Malaga also in for the Dukes. This defense is working early. That ball off, rebound though by Matt Reed is good.
Still York with some great perimeter defense. Don't let him get inside or take the easy three.
Hesh looking for something, gives to Malaga. We go back up to Shockey. 30 seconds to go in the first quarter. Malaga guarded by the ice-cold shooter Jack Proc. Giving back to Shockey. 10 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Malaga, top of the key, giving to Shockey. Shockey looks, gives it down low. Grace, good little play there. And there's a travel on Jeffrey Grace, 2.9 seconds to go. Dane, that little movement there, that was good. That was a nice open pass. Unfortunately, a costly turnover there for the Dukes. They give back. Throwing it up is O'Connor, and he's just off the mark. But 13-10, the score at the end of the first quarter. And with that, we say goodbye to the first quarter. And a couple very, very impressive baskets by the Dukes early, specifically Nate Shockey. 7 points of the 13. And we talked about, Dane, we talked about it, how he always scores, half the points of the team.
Yep.
Well, he's just over that right now. But this team, I tell you what, they got a good job early setting up the tempo. What do they have to do to maintain control of this ball game?
Good defense. Good defense wins games. Got to play good perimeter defense, inside defense. Get every rebound you can. Make sure you're using. When you have Denton Rhodey and Nick Hesh out there, you can do anything. You can shoot, get rebounds, kick it out to Shockey. I mean, that's how they're going to score points tonight.
So we now get set for the second quarter. 13-10 once again, the lead for the Dukes. Looking very strong early. Not too sloppy like our last home game.
Yeah.
Last week was a very sloppy ball game, grinded out by the Dukes. And the 10-point win against the Lions of LT. This ball up top now with Colin Gillespie. Alex Nash also makes his way into the ballgame. And the foul there going the other way.
Benet
That
really
one.
Benet really seems to take a three-point shot from that corner. I'm trigger happy.
That foul was on number 2, Matt Reed. As Jeffrey Grace and the Dukes come back up the floor. Offense down low, a little stale early. That ball lost by Shockey, up to Proc. Rims in and out. Rebound by the Red Wings, back to Shockey. And here come the Dukes in transition. Shockey fouled on the play. That foul at number 2, Matt Reed.
Great defense from number 11, Luke Malaga. Really stopped the fast break there. Let his Shockey draw the foul.
So Matt Reed accounts for 2 fouls to contribute to Bennett's total of 4. Nate Shockey, first shot is good. But, I mean, we just see it's the Shockey effect. It's the Shockey effect early, per usual. He's got 8 points. Duke's about to have 15 because Dane Wen has Nate Shockey.
Oh.
I was about to say, you know what? You know what I was about to say? I was about to say, when does Nate Shockey miss a free throw?
Well,
Shouldn't have even thought of maybe a little karma there. Is Bennett back the other way? It's ball press defense ran by Coach Doran. Sets up real well against a 3-point shooting team like these Red Wings. And you can see that on display here early. And a foul on number 50, Tim Glavin. That was Jack Proc driving to the basket.
Foul on 50, Tim Glavin. That's his second. Team's fourth.
His second.
just make sure he stays out of foul trouble. We might need him late.
And as he goes back up top to O'Connor. Now to Proc. It's a little motion offense that the Red Wings have going. Ineffective so far. Sam Hennessy guarded by Brandolino, and this crowd
And bench.
is giving appreciation to the defense. It's bench too, you're right. Best bench in the nation.
Well said.
That foul on number 10, Colin Gillespie. And great play there by the sophomore Nick Hesh as it will go the Duke's way. And Bobby, those contributions from the young guys is really going to be something that's huge this season. Dane.
Working with Bobby last week. It's all
It
right.
was Bobby last week. I was going to say, Bobby, you changed a little bit.
Just a little bit. Bobby's sitting right next to me.
But Dane, we'd like to say this is your first broadcast, right?
Yes, it is.
Welcome aboard. It's Brandolino now giving in to Rhodey. And up to Grace, top of the key. Little drive, little kick out to Hesh. Hesh, 3 ball on the way. Is off the mark. Rebound to the Red Wings. Up the floor to Venekrin. And he will be fouled by Hesh.
Speed from Hesh. Getting down court like that. Stopping the fast break. Don't let him get an easy layup.
Foul 33, Nick Hesh. That's his third. Team's fifth.
And there's certain times, or maybe a foul doesn't hurt you. We'll see. And that one will go. As Tim Glavin will now be checking into the game.
Hesh now
For
has
the
4
player.
fouls.
And that's 4 fouls early. 4 of the 5. We talked about young player. And Doran expressing his feelings about that last play with Hesh.
He does not look happy.
Shockey for three, no good. Rebound to Grace. There you go on the floor. He gives it to Rhodey. Rhodey jumper is short. Getting after it down low. Jump ball. And this one will stick with the Dukes.
Early on, Hesh having 4 fouls, Glavin having 2. Could put a little pressure on Denton Rhodey here, especially toward the end of the game.
5:14 to go in the second quarter. Dukes up by 2 on the number 13 team in the state. Checking into the ball game now for the Red Wings is number 32, Alex Nash. Checking out is Tyler Vanekrin. Inbound to Shockey. Giving it straight to Glavin. Back to Shockey. Cutting down low to Grace. Grace looks, kicking out to Brandolino. Brandolino drives. Up, right hand finish is good. Great little cut there by Brandolino.
Great job moving the ball around. Find the open man, open lane. Take the points.
Jack Prock 3-ball on the way is good. And Jack Prock registers his 8th point of the ball game.
Man, they're just chucking up threes and hitting everything right now. Excellent 3-point shooting team.
16-15. The score about 4.5 to go. Brandolino drives again. Kick out Glavin. Glavin for 3. This would be good. Yes, sir.
Money.
Tim Glavin for 3.
Wide open 3. And this crowd loves it.
You know what, Bobby? There's a lot of things a crowd loves. This one stolen by Grace, but back to Benet. There's a lot of things a crowd loves, but a big man who can shoot, that might be at the top of the list. As Jack Prock and the Red Wings go back to work. That good 3 again. Number 50, Glavin, as Prock trying to drive on Glavin. That one bounced out of the hands of number 12, Michael O'Connor. The attempted steal there by Jeffrey Grace III stepped out of bounds, and this ball will stick with the Red Wings. Checking into the ball game now is Lex Harrison. Tim Glavin checks out. Wow, it's refreshing to see a Tim Glavin 3-ball in the second quarter.
Left him open on the line.
Great defense there by Harrison. Oh, that foul will be on Jeffrey Grace. On Alex Nash. And that is the 6th foul for the Dukes. However, it is Grace's first. 19-15 the score. 3.5 to go. That ball, great hands by Shockey. Shockey straight up the floor. Rebound by Harrison after the ball was no good, and that'll be a foul on the Red Wings.
Great effort from Shockey, getting the ball back in bounds to Lex.
That foul was on number 32, Alex Nash. Checking into the ball game now, again, is number 3, Tyler Vanekrin, and number 33, John Golden. This is Brandolino to throw it in, giving straight to Harrison. Looking for something. Harrison's gonna give it back up to Brandolino. That ball sticks with Benet. Looks like Central. Kind of a weird play there, though.
Almost looked like he tripped him there. No call.
That ball will go the other way. Foul on number 33, John Golden.
That's his second. Team 7.
His second is coming out of the ball game now is number 2, senior Matt Reed. Good little feed there. Denton Rhodey finishes. The great assist there by Nate Shockey.
Shockey just kind of ran around there like a little animal. Got the ball, gave it inside. Great ball movement again from the Dukes.
That basket there extends the lead to 6, 21-15, 2.5 to go in the first half. Vanekrin gives to Proc, guarded by Harrison. A foul will be called there on Denton Rohde. Doran disagrees. Seventh foul for the Dukes. Rohde's first, and that will send Jack Proc to the line. It's the first of the 1-and-1. Dane, a lot of fouls here early.
Luckily, it's on both sides, but for the Dukes, we just got to stay out of foul trouble.
Second one, no good.
2 minutes left in this quarter.
Sticks with the Dukes. Traffic on the far side. Leave Grace and Vanekrin on the near side. And directing traffic again is Shockey. Shockey looks. Good little cut by Shockey. No good. Second chance. Yes, sir. 23-16. Just under 2 minutes to go in the first half. Nate Shockey picked up his dribble just before the free throw line. But a good little drive.
10th point of the game for Shockey. A little under half the points here for York.
Vanekrin trying to drive.
The bench
Nothing
loves
going.
it.
No call there, but a great block. Shockey, 3 ball, off the mark. Rebound by Jack Proc. He falls down, no travel call on the play, and here come the Red Wings the other way, back in transition. Kick out Vanekrin. Vanekrin 3 ball is good. 23-19, that shot there cuts it back to 4.
Both teams really working in transition here. That block from Denton, allowing Shockey to shoot the 3. Missed it, but great in transition.
(23-18) the score. 30 seconds to go in the first half. Give back to Rohde. Great little play there. Rohde finishes.
Excellent ball movement. Just 16 seconds left in the half.
25-18. 10 seconds to go. See what Benet can do here. Giving to Vanekrin. Vanekrin looking for something. Can't get anything. The give out. That's number 5. Hennessy. 3 ball on the way is off the mark. And with that, we will say goodbye to the first half. 25-18. York, the score at the end of the first half. And we will say goodbye and welcome you back to the second half in 8 minutes. Thanks for joining us, everybody. 25-18, score at the end of the first half.
Hey, you said my name like 6 times.
No, like once, maybe twice.
call for you tonight.
There you go.
Is the Dukes sustain the 25-18 lead at the half as we resume action now. And an exciting one early. Nate Shockey registering 10 points, Jacob Brandolino with 2, Nick Hesch with 4, and Tim Glavin with the exclamation point 3. Those for your starters. But Denton Rohde calculating some pretty valuable minutes there in the first half. Dane, what are your thoughts on the first half, on that first half so far?
I thought it was great. I thought we did what we had to do. 25 points is perfect. Keeping Benet to only 18.
And we talked about it, Dane. That they just got to sustain that tempo. That they did. This will be Jack Prock on the far side, bringing the ball in for the Red Wings. Back into Vinekrin. Great hands there by Jeffrey Grace, and that one will stick with the Red Wings. Aiming to control that tempo again here in the second half for the Dukes. Vinekrin gives to Hennessy. And Dane, we talked about in the first half, this defense real effective against a three-point shooting team like the Red Wings. It's Vinekrin on the far side. Sam Hennessy now, guarded by Tim Glavin. Back up top to Vinekrin. And Matt Reed. Great defense, great hands by Grace. Recovered straight up to Grace, back inside, and Nate Shockey will be fouled.
Again, working in transition perfectly.
That's what they got to do. Beautiful transition there from the Dukes. That foul on number 3, Tyler Vinekrin.
Great defensive stand from York on that last possession.
And that is the best way to work in transition. Pass the ball up the floor as Shockey hits the first one. 26-18. If you are just joining us now, we have just started the second half, with 2 Nate Shockey free throws. 27-18, 9-point lead for the Dukes against the number 13 team in the state. This is Jimmy Coffey's first action of the night, number 1, with the ball now, guarded by Nick Hesch. And Vinekrin, good little cut, and he will be fouled by Nick Hesch, and I believe that will be his 4th.
Foul number 33, Nick Hesch, that's his 4th. Team's first.
Vinekrin misses the first.
I think that threw him off.
Checking out of the ball game for the Dukes is Nick Hesch. Did you hear hot spaghetti?
I think I did.
See if we hear it again as Vinekrin for his second one. Makes the second.
I think those chances there just kind of threw Vinekrin off.
27-19. Back the other way come the Dukes. Great movement here on both sides of the ball. Trying to go behind the back is Shockey, couldn't do it. Driving now, Jacob Brandolino up, no good. Good defense there by Jack Brock. Back the other way comes Reed. Reed giving straight in to Jimmy Coffey, and he'll capitalize on the transition bucket. Strong in transition for both teams here early in the second half there, Dane. A throw up, but it will hit the feet of Denton Rohde. And back come Matt Reed and the Red Wings. Kicking outside now, Jimmy Coffey. No good. Rebound by Shockey. Shockey back the other way, looking for somebody. Had Grace, he'll take it himself, no good. Rebound by Rohde, and it will be picked up by Grace. Down low, and we have a jump ball.
The quickness coming from both teams has really showed tonight. especially working in transition, up and down the court.
And I believe before the jump ball was called, a timeout was called by the Dukes. Now, a reminder, we are on the Benet side of the gymnasium. And with that, 27-21, 5.5 to go in the third quarter. Both teams with just one foul. But pretty good start here if you're the Dukes. Inbound now by Brandolino to Shockey. Inside, good little play. Goes up Jeffrey Grace, no good. And he will go to the line for 2. That foul will be on number 15, Jack Prock. And that will be his first, and Bennett's second.
Another excellent shooter on the line, Jeffrey Grace.
And he has improved that free throw shooting so far this season, but misses the first.
Still very efficient from the line.
Hits the second. Brings the lead for the Dukes back to 7. The far near side, Hennessy, guarded by Brandolino. Giving the ball back. Oh, I think I saw some feet movement in there. No travel call. Jack Brock back at the top, giving out now to Venekrin. Venekrin gives to Coffey. Coffey's second three is no good. Rebound by Venekrin. Venekrin driving on Glavin, gets it up and in. 28-23, lead for the Dukes, cut back down to 5. Second chance points have been the name of the game. Kick out now to Brandolino. Brandolino, 3, got it to go. Jacob Brandolino, 31-23. The lead goes back to 8 for the Dukes. Brandolino has 5. Matt Reed and the Red Wings back the other way. Looking, Reed to the free throw line, kicking out. Hennessy, 3, no good, off the mark. That foul, no foul called. Could have been over the back there on Glavin, but nothing going.
Coming back to York's defense, we got Glavin and Hesh both in foul trouble, so we got to watch that.
That basket good. Goes back to 6. 31-25, 4:15 to go in the third quarter. Near side Malaga, driving, goes up, and he's fouled. That one on Jack Prock, and that will be his second.
Basket 15, Jack Prock, his second, team's third.
Malaga misses the first. Benet with 3 fouls. Malaga hits the second. 32-25, lead goes back to 7. And Bobby, it's just something that you got to keep up if you're the Dukes. It's a good team coming in here. Just keep a steady lead. It's driving in now as Matt Reed. That foul will be on Malaga. So Matt Reed shifty down near the basket.
Fouls on number 11, Luke Malaga, his first.
Great little left block drive. And Reed goes to the line for 2. Misses the first short. That student section loves it. I think yikes is the perfect reaction to that one there, Dane. But we're not biased. Misses the second one, too. And the one word from the student section and a combined effort was ew. 3:45 to go, but the steal by Reed. Back the other way. Hill drive, go up. But won't acknowledge the student section. 32-27, 5-point lead for the Dukes as they come down back the other way. Brandolino cutting. Good little move there, but no good. That'll be a foul on Denton Rohde.
I don't know what kind of foul, maybe over the back. Would have maybe thought a jump ball, but
I mean, if anything, that looked to be in favor of the Dukes if a foul was going to be called. Is Hennessy on the far side?
yeah, I would agree with you. That foul looked like Benet committed it, but called it on Rohde.
Proc, long three, off the mark. Shockey the Dukes back the other way. Good little drive by Shockey. He'll be fouled.
Shockey showed off some athleticism there. Good speed.
Foul number 5, Sam Hennessy. That's his second.
Foul on Sam Hennessy will send Shockey to the line for his 2 free throws. Hits the first. Misses the second. Rebound to Jack Proc and the Red Wings. No push-off called on Reed there. But he'll drive, kick out to Vinekrin. Vinekrin fakes it. Back up top to Hennessy. Back out Proc. Proc will look. Good hands there by the Dukes. I believe that was Jeffrey Grace on the defense. Checking back in now is number 50, Tim Glavin. Coming out is number 11, Luke Malaga. Proc for 3. Short. Rebound to Glavin. Glavin gives to Shockey. Shockey into the front court. Looking for Rohde. That ball tipped. And it'll stick with the Dukes. And no foul called there on Rohde, although I think most of us here in the gym thought that there might be something there. (33-27), 6-point advantage for the Dukes. Is Shockey out to Grace. Ball goes back to the Red Wings. Vinekrin to throw the ball inbounds. Reed drives. Good left-hand finish, 33-29. Good little move there by Reed. I tell you what, Dane, Matt Reed, he can drive and he can finish as well.
Unlike the rest of this Benet team, they just seem like they're just chucking up a bunch of threes.
Kick out Brandolino for 3. Is good.
Bang!
Jacob Brandolino for 3. It goes 36-29.
Can't leave him wide open. Miscommunication from the defense on Benet.
No travel called. Surprising. As Reed on the near side. Hennessy to Proc. Proc guarded by Brandolino. Get it out of the corner, just under 1 minute to go. 45 seconds. It's Reed guarded by Grace. Goes far side to Venekrin. Venekrin tries a little move, and he will be fouled. With 35 seconds to go in a 36-29 game. 4 fouls for both teams. Tyler Venekrin at the line shooting 2. Dane, what do you like so far? What do you like from this Duke squad?
I like how we were able to move the ball in transition, take advantage, especially like in transition, like I said. Move the ball inside the paint. If you can't get in the paint, find the wide open man, like Brandolino, like we just saw.
Benet hits that one, 36-30. Shockey and the boys come back the other way. Try to get the free throw line, giving down low. Denton Rhodey. Rhodey goes up, gets it in, one and a foul. Great fake there by Denton Rhodey.
Great athleticism.
Allows him.
Able to finish. He is a beast, using his size to his advantage.
Coming in now is Sean Maher. Luke Malaga. Coming out is Harrison and Shockey. Rhodey for the exclamation point and 3-point play is good. 39-30. Lead goes back to 9 for the Dukes. Just under 20 seconds to go. Five seconds to go. Kick out Proc. Proc 3-ball on the way is off the mark. Throwing it up is Reed and no good. And that concludes the third quarter.
That student section trying to throw off Benet with the last 10 seconds to go.
Tell you what, Bobby, I wasn't paying attention to the clock when I watched that play develop, and I was listening to the student section. So it's like we were talking about the whole first half, home court advantage in this stadium is a big thing.
Right, it's a big factor. Like I said, it fuels the team. It gets them to keep doing what they're doing.
It does, and we look at the LT game last week. Student section was bigger, but I'd say this student section is smaller but more of a factor. They're in it this time.
Right, they were way more into the game. I think maybe it was just because it was the first game or first home game or something, but this student section seems to be excited and well into the game.
I believe they're warmed up.
Yeah, that's the correct way to put it.
So we have 8 more minutes to go in this ball game. If you can recall last week when LT was here, it was 8 minutes of pure excitement. The difference, Dukes don't trail going into this fourth quarter. They have a lead of 9 against the number 13 team in the state. And Gene Heidkamp trying to assemble his squad together for the final 8 minutes of action.
Expect this York bench to start really getting into the game here.
Shockey back in the ball game. And we go with the starting 5. Good little fake there. But Grace decides not to drive. Now using the screen from Glavin. Switching to double team was Benet with his left hand. Looking to drive back up to Glavin. Giving to Grace. Far side, Brandolino. Inside, good little move by Tim Glavin. Gets that one to work. And the Dukes extend their lead to 11.
Good ball movement, taking advantage of the double coverage on Shockey, working inside the paint.
We talked about it against LT last home game. A couple sloppy points, but this offense is starting to really come together here tonight. Good hands there by Hesh.
Oh.
And I don't know about that one.
That's an ouch. That one hurts, especially for Hesh, who's in foul trouble. Yep.
That'll be
Fouled
his
out.
5th, and he has fouled out of the ball game. Denton Rhodey will get set to come in. Tough loss for the Dukes here in the early going of the fourth quarter. I'll tell you what, Denton Rohde has done a terrific job thus far coming off the bench.
Especially seems because he's been getting extra minutes since Glavin and Hesh have been in foul trouble since the beginning of the game.
As Reed hits the first. But misses the second. Stays at a 10-point ball game. Double digits. 7 minutes to go. Grace, the left hand, a drive. Good little pass there. Denton Rohde. Rohde will finish.
Passing inside the paint.
And I tell you what's working. They're making their shots. No lid on the hoop here tonight.
Right, no dumb shots.
Back the other way comes Proc and the Red Wings. Hennessy for three. Off the mark, way off the mark. Here comes Grace the other way. Grace to Shockey. Shockey, three ball on the way. Off the mark, rebound by Glavin. He'll go up strong, no good. Getting on the floor. Malaga finishes that one. Luke Malaga.
That's the advantage of having two big men. Two big men on the floor.
45-31. Dane, I like where we're at. It's been great play all around by the Dukes. And a 14-point lead and a red-hot Benet team.
A great job from York defense shutting down this Benet offense, who's been producing very well this season.
And the key to the game early for the Red Wings is number 15, Jack Proc, registered 2 3-pointers in the first half, but since then, not too much production. This is a team, this is a Benet team where we talk about height, matching up very well against the Dukes, but I will say in terms of physicality, the Dukes have been on lockdown. 6:04 to go. Let's hope they hold it together here.
The athleticism from this York team is unmatched. I'd like to see another team match up to it this season.
And you do love to see the grittiness from the Dukes, and that's something that we have seen so far tonight. Just under 6 to go, 14-point lead is what the Dukes have against the Red Wings of Benet. Gillespie to Reed. Reed opposite side to Golden. To Proc. Proc drives on Rohde, goes up strong and finishes. Right hand finish there by Jack Proc. Shockey to Malaga. Malaga nearly pulled the trigger, and that foul will be on Jack Proc, and that will register
And the foul number 15, Jack Proc, that's
his third of the night, and the 6th for the Red Wings of Benet. Near side now to Grace. Grace driving, kick out, Malaga. Malaga, three is off the mark. Rebound by Rohde, but gives it straight to Reed back the other way. This one bounces off the hands of Proc, but somehow managed to hit Malaga and roll out of bounds. Matt Reed to take the ball out for the Red Wings. Good hands there by Shockey. Reed to the opposite side. O'Connor, three, no good. Rebound by Golden. No call there. Jump ball. This one will stay with Benet. Taking the ball out of bounds is Matt Reed. Proc back to Reed in the corner, guarded by Glavin. Driving, Reed up, left-hand finish, no good. Rebound by Glavin. Back the other way, into the front court comes Shockey. Shockey drives, looking, has Rhodey. Rhodey, good little hesitant, can't finish. Back out, Shockey, 3-ball on the way, is off the mark, but rebound by Glavin. Glavin back straight up is short, and rebounded by Matt Reed. Up the floor now come the Red Wings. Matt Reed on the drive will be fouled. That one will be on Denton Rhodey. That'll be his third. Denton Rhodey with 13 points off the bench tonight as Matt Reed makes the first. But I mean, what do you think about that? Denton, time and time again, has come off this bench and produced valuable points for the Dukes.
He's been doing more than just getting points for the Dukes. He's been getting plenty of rebounds, very important rebounds on the offense and defensive side.
Reed hits the second. Back in the ballgame now for Benet is Jimmy Coffey. And Grant straight up. Great pass there from Grace to Rhodey. Can't finish, and that will be a jump ball. Believe this one will stay with the Dukes, and it will. Lex Harrison in the ballgame as well. Coming out is Rhodey, and checking in is Glavin. And a great sequence there from Denton Rhodey. Shockey, inbound to Brandolino. Back to Shockey. Good play, can't finish. Rebound by Glavin to Harrison. Harrison gives it back to Brandolino. Now to Shockey, guarded by Gillespie. Shockey. Goes, Shockey, kick out, Glavin. Is that number 2? Off the mark. Rebound by Harrison. 6 with the Dukes. Back to Shockey. Shockey cuts, drives, can't finish. Back the other way comes Coffey and the Red Devils. Time starting to become a factor. And that ball will be out of bounds, and to the Dukes it goes. 45-35, 10-point game, 3:15 to go in the ball game.
This Benet team looks like they're starting to become a little sloppy here.
That they are. I mean, they're getting kind of out of sync. 10-point ball game, 3:15. Both teams with 6 fouls.
They don't know what to do now. Down 10.
Like we were saying there, Dane, Denton Rhodey with a valuable 13 points in this ball game. There's Nate Shockey with 13, Jacob Brandolino with 8, Tim Glavin with 5, Jeffrey Grace just 1. But I mean, Jeffrey has done a great job getting after the ball around the defensive end.
This whole game, especially the second half, has seemed to be a very team effort. Besides Nate Shockey's 32 points last night, he's only got 13 tonight. I wouldn't say only, but everyone else is helping out tonight.
And that's all we've heard about. That's all we heard about coming into the night, especially 32 points last night registered by Nate Shockey of the Dukes, 50. But this has been a great team effort coming out tonight. But I think, like you said, when people heard about those 32 points, it was it's a very, it's a one-man band. But tonight, the Dukes have really come out and quieted and silenced those who claim that, as Brandolino will be fouled by Matt Reed. Sends the Dukes to the bonus with 7 on the Red Devils. Brandolino at the line. This is the first of the 1-and-1. Nekrin. The Red Wings back the other way. Reed in the corner. A lot of traffic down low, but nothing going, so Reed will take it himself. Left-hand finish is good. And a timeout called by Benet. As we said, Dane, time becoming crucial. 45-37, 2:47 to go. And Dukes in the bonus. How important is that down the stretch?
It's huge because when Benet starts to decide they want to foul York, we get to the line right away, and with players like Shockey and Brandolino, and Jeffrey Grace, any of them can hit both their free throws at any given time.
And like you said, I mean, at this point, fouls should result in free points for the Dukes. And down the stretch with 1-and-1s, that's only become more and more important.
I mean, that
7 fouls on the Red Wings. And as we were saying, the bonus is going to become more and more of a factor, but so is time. And the Dukes have been pretty well disciplined. And OPRF, just getting news now that OPRF leads number 5 Stevenson 53-41 with 2:25 left. Folks, a reminder that Stevenson beat the Dukes by 12 in the championship game of the Dukes Thanksgiving tournament, I believe at Palatine. Throw it now, Glavin, opposite way. Glavin will take, Glavin will finish. The lead goes back to 10.
That's what happens on that press.
Passes open up the ball press like nothing else. As Reed on Brandolino. Out to Proc. Proc for 3 is off the mark. Shockey the rebound. Shockey just before the season committing to North Dakota in their D1 program. As Brandolino now drives on Reed, but off the feet of Proc and back the other way comes Reed. Up and in. Good basket there, no foul called on Shockey. The lead goes back to 8 with 1:52 to go. But as we were saying, bonus, time, and deficit, all a factor down the stretch. And Dane, last week with LT, we've mentioned it time and time again, it was sloppy. What have you been impressed with from the Dukes, especially at crucial points in this ballgame?
Knocking down shots and great passing has been the most important things tonight.
And their defense has also been extremely good. I mean, this defense is something that has come out and really, you know, shut down a red-hot Benet team, especially from the 3 beyond the arc. A lot of people had questions after that win against LT that went to overtime and resulted in the 10-point W. I'll tell you what, it gets interesting if Stevenson loses to OPRF, because then you start to talk about an OPRF team who could potentially become a threat, especially in their few games that they have set for this season against York.
I was just thinking the same thing. OPRF could be a huge threat in our season.
Shockey breaking the full court press to Brandolino, opposite side to Harrison, and he will finish. Dukes go back up by 10, 49-39. Just about a minute and a half to go. Back into the front court come the Red Wings. Proc guarded by Harrison. Thrown up, rattles in and out. That one shot by Gillespie. Rebound by Harrison. Harrison gives straight to Glavin. Glavin goes back to Shockey, and he will be fouled by Jack Proc. And that will be his 4th.
Excellent performance coming from Lex Harrison in the last sequence.
And this Duke team does a good job at not panicking as Shockey hits his first.
Shockey's first bucket in a while.
And that shows how great of a team effort this knock-on-wood win will be for the Dukes.
I'd like to see how many assists he has.
I would too. We'll get access to that. As Proc, long three is good. 50-42, minute 11 to go. Inbound to Shockey. Full court press will result in a foul on Tyler Vanekrin.
And you don't want to foul that man.
Foul number 3, Tyler Vanekrin. That's his third, team's 9th on the bonus.
Trying to extend the lead back to 10 is Nate Shockey. Heading the first, and they can start to feel it here at Dick Campbell. Nate Shockey with 16. Tonight's leading scorer thus far. Minute to go in the ball game. Good little spin by Reed. No good is strong. Rebound by Vanekrin. Foul on the play. And that one will be on Shockey.
Foul number 10, Nate Shockey. It's only his first, team's 7th.
And Bobby, that's another thing. Shockey extremely Dane. Just so used to seeing Bobby weird. It's all right, Dane.
It's all right.
It's all right. Bobby is on the other side of Dane tonight. It's Vanekrin. It's his first. Dane, we're just going to start calling you Bobby from now on. You'll be Bobby.
But then what are you going to call Bobby?
Bobby squared. We'll go with number 2.
All right.
52-44. Lee goes back to 8, and that one to Proc. Proc for 3, I believe his foot was on the line. Foul on the play.
I was going to say, got to stay out of that foul trouble early on. It's going to lead
That
to
one-
free throws like this.
That one on Grace. So, Dane, this is where we start to talk about fouls becoming an issue. As Reed hits the first, 52-45. And Dane, if they get it back within 6, it starts to get a little interesting, especially because that full court press that the Red Wings have put on has started to become effective here late. As Reed hits the second, so they do bring it within 6.
Especially
Brandolino.
the effectiveness of Bennett's three-point shooting. Yeah.
Harrison in transition gets to go, 40 seconds to go, 54-46. Proc. 3 ball is good. 34 seconds to go, 54-49. I will say, some of these Red Wing fans has started to leave the building, but this game is still far from over. 5-point game.
You just can't let Bennett hit that three-pointer.
And Jack Proc is a guy I will say, you know what, if the Red Wings take this ball game, if the Red Wings end up taking this ball game, I will take credit for it because I called out Jack Proc.
Oh,
I said he hasn't hit 3. I said he hasn't hit 3 in a long time, and I will say he's quieted me down. And as much as this crowd is a factor, even more of a factor is the best bench in the nation, led by Gavin Hendrick, Dan Wagner, Yavion Griffin, Luke Rosenstein, Tyler Olsen.
you could say Gavin Hendrick's a great water boy, too. I'd like to see him get into the game.
Inbound now to Shockey back the other way. Gonna kill some time here. Straight up to Harrison. Harrison will be fouled, that one on Jack Proc, and I believe he will foul out of the ball game. That he will. Jack Proc ends his night with 17 points. Couple crucial threes. Checking back into the game is Sam Hennessy. And that, I'm not gonna lie, that's big because that is a pretty darn good three-point shooter.
Very proficient tonight. 17 points. Did I say proficient? Efficient. Efficient. Using my English.
Front end missed by Harrison. Still 28 seconds to go. I was going to say, proficient, that didn't sound, for a second there, I was like, that doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
Good catch. As Harrison, his second, gets it to 6. Coming out is Jimmy Coffey, and checking in is Luke Nolan, the 6'2" junior. And up into the front court comes Matt Reed and the Red Wings. Reed guarded by Brandolino. Rebound by Venekrin. Venekrin goes up, he'll be fouled. That foul on Brandolino. 16.6 to go in the ball game. Venekrin on the front end. Got it. 55-50. Coming back out of the ball game now is Nolan. Checking back in is Coffey. Venekrin hits the second. 55-51. Trap on the near side and a foul. That one will be on number 1, Jimmy Coffey, sending Shockey to the line. Need him to hit both right here. Couple insurance points for the Dukes. Misses the front end.
It's a rare miss from Shockey, especially clutch time.
Hits the second. 56-51. 5-point game. 10 seconds to go. Venekrin looking. Kick out in the corner. Shooting. That one long. Rebound by Tim Glavin. Back into Grayson. That's how we will end the ball game. The Dukes beat the number 13 team in the state, the Benet Red Wings. What a ball game. Exciting one down the stretch. And this has been a play. Your first broadcast. We conclude it right now. Dane, what did you think of it?
It was great. Enjoyed watching the game. Calling the game.
You got a great ball game. That's the important part.
Oh, I was so happy that we won.
Great win for the Dukes. So the final score, 56-51. The Dukes end their night with 9 fouls. Benet with 10. Nate Shockey finishes his night with 17 points. Jacob Brandolino with 8. Lex Harrison with 5. Jeffrey Grace with 1. Tim Glavin with 7. But a very, very valuable 13 from Denton Road. Can't say enough about him. So we'd like to thank you for joining tonight's broadcast of York Dukes basketball on YSN. For Dane Emmerich, I'm Gavin Hughes. Dane, you want to end you want to end your first broadcast?
Go Dukes.
Go Dukes and roll Dukes. We'll see you next time, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight.